Everybody, it's Frank. Welcome back to the channel. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing good. January 2nd, 2025. Crazy stuff has to happen day one, right? Anyway, yeah, actually for me, crazy stuff happens today. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I made it through the first work day. And like I said, I think the previous video before that, I don't remember. I can't remember. I need to eat more eggs or something, man. We need more cholesterol. That's what I heard. Anyway. So yeah, it was pretty light today. There was like one meeting and the guy didn't show up. And then he just cancels at 15 minutes after it started. Yeah. It was pretty brutal waking up today because I think I went to bed at a little bit after 11. I'm like, oh boy, I gotta get up at 6:30. And, since I worked from home, right? So if I went to work, I wake up at 6, right? So we gotta get used to it. We gotta get to bed earlier. Gotta get back into the grind. Got through it all right. I did a little bit of walking on my treadmill. I know it was kind of boring, but I had to do something for work, so I was like, all right, I'll kind of listen into this, and then, at least get my work, get some steps in. Then I did actually some weights, and I'm telling you, I tried to do a full set of squats, and I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll use lighter weight, and I'll just do more reps, right? Just to kind of almost like do more warm up. And after the second set, I go into the third, and it's supposed to be like on your quads, right? Like what I try to push up, and like I could feel like the back, like almost like more, like in between the thighs, not necessarily like your hamstrings, but like it felt like I almost like ripped out, like I don't want to say sharp pain, but I was just like, whoa, whatever. So tomorrow, my inner thighs might be toast. So yeah, for my third set, I'm like, all right, I got a bench, right? And you can, it's kind of like a jack of all trade bench, right? It's got like an incline thing, but it's also got like a little, whatever, it pivots, right? So you can do leg curls and leg extensions with it. So I did the leg curls for my hamstrings, right? So I did those first, and maybe I don't know, maybe when I'm squatting, I'm using more of my hamstring. I don't know, guys. Like, my ankle mobility sucks. It's always been bad. It just gets worse. So I ended up doing leg extensions on the last set, and so I don't know. Maybe we'll just do that. So I don't know. Just do the weights this week for Thursday. Might get slightly sore. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, so then I'm thinking, hey, let's get stuff done, right? I haven't been to Sam's Club to actually get food in a while, so I'm like, all right, I'll go to Sam's Club after that, right? And my buddy's like, hey, you want to go walking at the mall? And I'm like, hey, I do need to go to Sam's Club. So I'm like, all right, well, I hadn't started the HHR in a while. And I'm like, let me check the oil real quick, right? And I'm like, needs a little bit of oil. I put the oil in. I'm like, all right. And then I try to remote start it, right? And it's like the lights come on, and I'm like, oh boy, it's low or something. I'm like, let me just get my back. I got like this battery jump pack, right? So I tried it with that, and it's like dead. I'm like, how is this possible? And I'm like, well, the pack ain't too, the compressor turns on. I mean, like the battery's almost full. I'm like, I don't know, man. This thing must be dead or something. So I have an actual battery charger, so I hook it up. And I just went out. I just came in a couple minutes ago, right? So it's almost done charging up, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I go, let me. I didn't quite turn it over, but I just turned it on. I'm like, all right, everything seems fine. And I turned it back off. I'm like, all right, let's see how much more charging it has, right? And it's like, it said 15 volts before I did it, and then it went boop, like down to like 10. I'm like, So I can't go today. I'm just we're gonna go safe, right? We're just gonna let it charge up all night. Well, hopefully before I go to bed it'll be charged because I want to charge my battery pack. Isn't this funny? Like I hadn't needed to charge it forever, but I haven't started the car in like I don't remember. I know I drew. Let me see. I know I drove on Thanksgiving. Or not Thanksgiving. I'm telling you guys, I'm toast today. For Christmas Eve, and what I can't recall is if I don't know. Maybe it's been that long, so if it's been like a week, right? But it should start over like a week. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I checked the battery. I went to take it in. They said it was all right. Now it was like last summer. They said, "Oh, it's just low." So I'm like, "All right." I thought maybe my alternator was dying, but then I just charged it up, and then it wasn't giving me any problems all summer long. So I don't know what's going on. It's colder, you know. I always call it the winter blues. It just cars don't like it, you know. And it's like, all right, anyway. So I'm done babbling. Frank's doing fine. I hope you're doing fine today. Oh, and by the way, thank you for stopping by. But I didn't say so. Subscribe, like, do all the stuff if you can. We only have a short, you know, I got a small group of friends here. So I do appreciate coming by. But yeah, outside of that, hey, you guys like the market going on? I don't know. So I was just take a look at here. We got looks like the 10-year went down ever so slightly. It doesn't look like the overall market. It kind of went down a little bit, not by much. Looks like a SPY went down. That's kind of like the 500. And let's see here. Bitcoin kind of rallied today. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking up at the screen here, trying to look at this stuff here because I can't like put it. I gotta figure that out. I don't know. I keep saying I gotta figure that out, and I just don't do it. But gold and silver took a little bit of a bid. Silver more than anything, but silver had been getting beat up like the entire month of December and like parts of November. I don't know. We'll call it the last 2 months. It's been kind of, yeah. It kind of was trading sideways and it went down, and then it was trading sideways and went down again. It's still down behind its down below its 200-day moving average. So it hasn't poked its head above that for long. So I don't know. That's normally not good for, you know, technical analysis and this and that. But yeah, so the 50-day moving average is coming down. It's probably going to hit they're going to merge pretty soon. But yeah, if it stays below the 200 here, we'll probably have a good buying opportunity. So don't rush into it. Gold is just at its 50-day moving average. It's kind of gone down below it, like back in, looks like, what, November? Yeah, about November. And it's poked its head up once above 50 and went down it, and then poked up again. It almost looks like, like a gopher. You know those games. I love those games. Oh my gosh, when those games came out, like I was like, I think almost a teenager. So all the little kids played it. They loved it. But like as I got older, I just loved that game. So whenever I see that game, I almost want one of those. It's like, I always try to tell people, I go, life's like the gopher game. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, one problem comes up and poop, and another one comes up, poop, and then like two come up, you're like, poop, poop, and then, before you know it, you're just like, it's like every time you pop one down, right? It's like kill one head, two take its place, right? Some type of Hydra thing, right? So. But anyway, yeah. Crypto's kind of doing something. But then, I don't know. Then again, it's like it's not at 100. It's not at 100K back again. But if I look at the technicals, it's it's actually right. Bitcoin is like right at its 50-day moving average. So we'll see what here. It's been down underneath it. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be some short-term, lost into that. But yeah, today, hey, take it for what it's worth. If you want to sell, I guess maybe sell some of your crypto. But I ain't selling any of my crypto. So outside of that, yeah, make sure your car isn't blowing up. And, yeah, don't go to Mardi Gras. Yeah, I know. I'm only laughing because it's just it's like it's like what was crazy. It's like every year that goes by, it's like it's like hold my beer, man. It's like you think it's crazy, hold my beer, and it's just like you can't. Pardon my French. You can't make this shit up. It's like, why? Why? Anyway, I don't know. I hear a lot of people like, "We're gonna make it to January 20th." It's like we're gonna make it to January 20th. It's just like how much crap is gonna happen beforehand. I don't know. Last time around, right? Like, I'll call it. Those were Trump supporters on J6. Yeah, where there? Yeah, there was some there. Yeah. But there were the little grandmas that went around and they got arrested. Right? I'm so glad I didn't go to that thing. I was like, I don't have the money to do this. I'm too cheap to go to Washington, D.C. It's too damn cold, so. But yeah, that was instigated. Come on. Half those people weren't, they didn't even look like Trump people. But anyway. So what's going to go on? Like all the Harris people come out. They're too. I'm sorry, guys. If you're a Harris supporter and you're still a Harris supporter now, I hope you find some help. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is like, I don't know, man. Most of the Harris supporters I know, they're so lazy. Like. Most people are lazy, okay? I'll give you that, okay? But, like, they just expect everything to, So, who's going to be there? I know who's going to be there. The FBI, the CIA, right? I call it the corporation, right? So, it's going to be like the corporation versus the corporation, right? It's like WrestleMania 3, where Hulk Hogan takes Andre the Giant. Boom! Body slam. That was one of the best WrestleManias ever, by the way. That was in Pontiac Silverdome here in Michigan. So, anyway, kind of a weird tangent, right? So, that's why you come. That's why you come to go see Uncle Frankie. Come on. This is fun. Anyway, hopefully tomorrow, right? Friday, we get to work from home. It looks like a light schedule for me. So, it shouldn't be that bad. So hopefully, but I'm telling you, next week for me. Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy. We'll see. But part of good news from a work perspective, the end of the year, they call it CAP. I don't know why. I think it's called, what was it called? Yeah, why is it called that anymore? It's basically like your like end of year, like your quote unquote bonus, or at least whatever. It's a bonus, whatever you get based on your performance and like or here's your goals, right? And it's like you can't measure like what. It's almost like more like if your boss thinks you did a good job. Oh yeah, and it's kind of subjective, but. It's like all this, super serious, and you're just like, all right, I get it, right? Like, if you read it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's like, how can you, there's nothing, there's no, like, measuring stick, right? It's like, and there's a lot of things that, like, you can't control, right? So, I don't know, they're changing it's like it seems like every year they do this, too. And I've been here, like, 11 years, 12 years, and they had a certain way, and they call it the 9 box, like tic-tac-toe, right? Like, literally, it was like you wanted to be in the center, really. Like, it was like, they called that, I think that was the 5 box, right? because that's like meets, right? It was like your performance and then like your behaviors, right? So that's what it's called. You get meet, right? So yeah. But anyway, they kind of changed that, and then they kind of had more like, all right, subjective this and this, right? And now it's like kind of the same, but they kind of explained like, yeah, we're doing, kind of more how the software people do it. I'm like, oh great, we're mechanical engineers. They're trying to use software engineering as our measuring stick. Like, okay, whatever, right? Like whatever. They're talking about like, oh yeah, we want the 5% to improve, which means every year they're gonna get rid of 5%. That's what it just means. We know it, right? So you're gonna have a certain population, and 5% gets cut out, right? So it's just gonna squeeze everyone. So it's eventually what used to be good will be bad. So it'll just keep. So you just have to keep getting better every year to keep your job, right? So writing's on the wall. But anyway, getting back to this. So they would say, all right, what do they call it? Like an like a absolute value, right? Like, did you meet the goal or not, right? And then it's like contextual. They call it contextual, right? Because sometimes we can't meet a goal because like we get something bad done to us, right? So they're trying to at least say on paper, right, that they're not going to count it against you, but they're going to count it against you. I've been there long enough. That might be more for the executives because they, like my boss's boss, right? I think you're at a level. I'm not even sure if they have level 10, like 10. Anyway, these are just numbers. If you're at General Motors, you know what this means. Oh shit! I should have said that. But yeah, they have performance metrics, right? And a lot of those goals are based on their boss, right? And it's like that's basically from the board of directors, right? So some of this stuff is just like, all right, this is our goal and hope we can meet it, right? Like you can try the best you can. It looks like you failed miserably, but it's like, all right, so long-winded way to say, hey, it's good. They're changing the tune, they're changing the song, they're changing the story, and they're changing the people playing the flutes, right? Getting a new orchestra, new conductor, right? And they're gonna put new customers in, or their patrons. Yeah, that's right, they're patrons. See, you learn new. Who is messaging me? Who is that? Come on, it's probably my friend Al, maybe Brian. Brian, if you watch this, why'd you do that? Anyway, guys, 18 minutes, Frank rambling. Hopefully, you guys had a good first work day. If this was your second work day, I'm sorry that you had that. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Just stay on track, right? Right. All right. Till tomorrow, have a good one. See ya. Bye.